Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Ask a Care Manager. My name is Ryan Abramski, and I am the Business Development Director. I'm joined, as always, with Teresa Jackson, our Director of Care Management. The both of us work for EasyLiving. We're a home care and care management agency serving the Tampa Bay area for over 20 years. The Ask a Care Manager series is brought to you by our friends over at the Senior Living Resource Magazine and their website, SeniorLivingGuide.com. They're a statewide resource for all things senior housing and health, anything from home care like Easy Living to assisted living facilities to memory care, senior health, care management. Check out Senior Living Resource Magazine and the website, SeniorLivingGuide.com, including the newest episode, which I just held up here. It has a lovely article about our on-demand care coaching program that we have going on right now. So check out their website and check out their magazine. They're a great resource to have. So speaking of senior living resources, Teresa, I got a question for you.
Okay.
So one of our viewers as we discussed last week, our senior care facilities in the state of Florida have begun to limit opening back up in a safe manner. So some families, I think, are starting to think about the option of possibly looking into moving their loved one to an assisted living facility if the home care option is not available to them. So they kind of had a question about, is it safe to go start looking? Is it, what should they be looking for? What are the differences? I mean, it was a whole slew of questions. And I said, we got the perfect person to answer that question. That's Teresa, because as a care manager, that is something that you help families with.
Definitely. That is one of the key services that a care manager and aging life care professional can provide. We are experts in knowing what facility resources are out there, what are the different communities and so we can, when we do get that telephone call or we're working with a client, we can make recommendations. Mm-hmm. Now, I will let you know that an aging life care professional does not receive any kickback or referral fee from a facility if they make a recommendation. That goes against our code of ethics. Now, there are some organizations that is how they provide their services. They
Sure.
offer free services, but then they do get paid by the facility, the referring facility. But as an aging life care professional, we like to offer different options and not choose for the family, but help the family choose the best option. And I actually had a conversation with a family member this past week. Again, same situation as the person you spoke with. They had been thinking about moving their loved one into a facility, and they put everything on hold because of COVID, as everything's been on hold because of COVID. But and then he was saying, well, my boss, his dad, they were going to move him into a facility down the road, and facility ABC, and I think that's would be a really good one for my mom. So that's where I want her to go. So I was doing some research. I thought, well, that's good. You have an idea of what you would like, and that'll make my job easier. But I started doing some research about the community. And I would love for us to transition from saying facility to community. And I hate it when people talk about moving their loved one and saying, you help with placement. It's like, no, I never place mom in a facility. We don't do that. We help families transition to the best next level of care. And that can be in a senior community. I just don't like the terminology facility, but that's just me. But let me carry on. Looking at what my client's needs were and what the facility or community offers, it wasn't going to work because, one, she needs memory care. And two, she also is diabetic, so she needs a higher level of care. And you have to look, they're in Pinellas County alone. So we are Easy Living provides services in Pasco, Pinellas, and Hillsborough County in the Tampa Bay area. And then our on-demand care management is state, national-wide. But in Pinellas County, there's 174 assisted living facilities. So it's hard to know every one of them, but when someone's looking for a different type of facility, we know what questions to ask and the research that needs to be done. So anyway, you have to look at these facilities all have different types of licensure. They start with a standard license, and the majority of them all have a standard license, which means that they may have a nurse in there from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, maybe a little bit on the weekend, but that nurse is limited as to what they can do. Then you have some that have a limited nursing services license, a extended congregate care license, a limited mental health license. So there's a lot more to finding out and determining the best community for someone to move into than just, oh, well, so-and-so recommended this community because their mom was there and they really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So that's, there's a lot more that goes into it.
Which might not be wrong. They just might not be the best fit for their care.
Exactly. And you have to look at, and what an aging life care professional does, and what we do is we look at not just today, their needs today, but will this community meet their needs tomorrow? Because if someone does have a true dementia, it's going to be progressive. So it's going to get worse. And so will they be able to stay in that community? And also they might be able to afford it today, but if they're going to be there for 5 years, will they be able to afford it at that time? Do they need assistance in applying for Medicaid? A lot of people say, oh no, never, mom will never need Medicaid. She's got resources. This is good. And I'll say, okay, so what if your mom's the one that lives to be 101? She's 85 right now. Does she have the resources? So we help with not just where, what's going to meet her needs today, but also down the road, because it can be very traumatic to make these transitions, to move into a senior community. And so we want to make sure we help a family member or a loved one move into the right one, because you don't want to have to do it again, next year and then the next year.
Absolutely. And then sometimes too, we work with these different independent and assisted living facilities, if they need additional care, within those buildings, most of these buildings allow companies like Easy Living to come in, provide that additional one-on-one care for your family member too. So just because their home is not an actual home, and it's an assisted living facility or independent living facility, or even a memory care, we do help with too. Yeah. So, we can come in with the additional one-on-one care inside those buildings.
Especially during the first couple of weeks of transition.
Yep.
And I know with all the rules changing daily regarding COVID and testing, and are we not testing? I know right now the facilities just got the directive now these are assisted living facilities, just got the directive to where they are not required to test caregivers every 2 weeks like they have been. So, but they might have their own rules that their corporations or that they're putting in place to follow. And they're all still doing, the PPE, the hand washing, temperature checks and stuff like that. But it's the testing that's now not being mandated by the state. So, we are able to get, where I was going with that, I apologize. So one of the things that some facilities still require is that when someone moves in, that they must self-quarantine in their room. So imagine someone with dementia moving into an assisted living facility, memory care, but they have to stay in their room. Now, this is where we have been hired our home care services have been hired to go in and assist, provide that additional service, because the facility can't provide a one-on-one and that person that's just new to that community may need some additional one-on-one because of the difficulties with the transition.
Absolutely.
So,
And I know we were talking about some of our placement agencies that are out there that they just basically they do offer that free service to place
and it
agencies, but that's something that we also work with them too.
Mm-hmm.
So we pick their brains because that's their 100% of what they focus on is that they know the ins and outs of the facilities. A lot of times they know the censuses, so we can just use them as a resource also to find out where they know where maybe some openings and stuff are based off of like what the criteria are. So they're a resource we also work together with and help their people too and help us.
Definitely. I've referred clients to a placement agency before. Because sometimes that's what the client needs.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, Teresa, appreciate the insight as always, and in discussing some of the different things that families should be looking for and some of the questions they should be asking, and really understand that there are different, all assisted livings or senior care facilities aren't the same. They all have
Correct.
different things that they offer, programs that they offer, services they offer, but at the end of the day, a lot of these buildings, regardless of what level of care they offer, they can coordinate. Families can coordinate with our services, whether that be the care management services and helping with the transition phase and making sure
Mm-hmm.
things are going well with these buildings, or on the home care side of providing that additional one-on-one care, either for a transition or something ongoing too.
Exactly.
Well, thank you everyone for joining this week. Really appreciate it. Hope to see everyone next week. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post it down below in the comments section, or you can send us a message on Facebook, or you can visit our website and send us a message through our website also. Hope to see everyone next week. Teresa, thank you again, and hope everyone has a good week.